I've been part of the company. I said no. Those of you that don't know my story, I said no for 17 years. And the man that is on this evening is pretty much the reason why I said yes. If you don't know the backstory, Jeff, I saw him at an event. I told him no at a cleanse that I was teaching for Tony Robbins. And I'm like, go away, go away, go away. Finally, I said yes. I flew to conference 2 days later. And I saw, first of all, that we drove by St. Jude, and they talked about how they were the #1 contributors to the St. Jude Marathon. Then we get there, we see the big sign of who were the speakers. And it was Dr. Sears. And I was like, you gotta be kidding. Now, the reason that I bring that up for you is, those of you that don't know, is that I did my book, No Greater Love, almost 20 something years ago, 23, 24 years ago. And when I was looking, when I was talking to the publisher, they were like, let's, put together your testimonials. And I'm like, okay, well, I knew certain people I could get testimonials from. It's kind of like college. I don't know if anybody ever applied to college. Give me some love in there. If anybody ever knows what I'm talking about college, that you apply for the school that you're going to get into, and then you apply for the school that you think you can get to, and then you have the stretch goal, right? So I had like people I knew I could get testimonials from because I knew them personally. And then I had the ones that I thought would give me a testimonial. And then I had a stretch goal. And that stretch goal was, oh my God, what if I could get my mentor to write a testimonial for me? And I was like, I'm going to do it. And I have pretty much all of Dr. Sears's books. If you don't know Dr. Sears, he's known to his patients as Dr. Bill. He has been called upon by busy parents to raise healthier families for over 50 years. He got his medical training at Harvard Business School Children's Hospital in Boston. He'll share a little bit more with you about it. He serves as a professor of pediatrics at the University of Toronto and the University of South Carolina and the University of Southern California. He'll go on and on. He has 42 best-selling books out there. He's been on the 2020, on Good Morning America, on Oprah, on the Today Show, on The View, on Dr. Phil, on and on and on. So anyway, he was my stretch goal. I'm like, oh my God, if I could get Dr. Sears to do a testimonial. And I remember taking my baby book and putting it in a FedEx envelope. And I'm like, I'm just going to FedEx it to him. And I'm like, and I sent him the transcripts of my book. And I was like, Dr. Sears, you don't know me, but your book is the baby Bible for me. And I would be so honored if you would do a testimonial for my book. And a week later, a FedEx came back with a testimonial. And I was blown away. So when I saw that Dr. Sears was the first speaker at the Juice Plus conference, I'm like, I'm all in. I mean, if Dr. Sears is behind this, then I am definitely behind this. So he is on the call tonight. Such an extraordinary man, truly all heart. Him and his wife, Martha, when you get an opportunity to meet them, you will see that they just are real and raw and on a mission to truly, truly help transform the health of families around the world. So for those of you that are on, you're in for a treat. You would definitely be wanting to share this with every family member that you know. So Dr. Sears, are you there?
I'm there. Hi, Loren.
Awesome.
Hi, Loren. It's good to be with you.
It's so great to have you on, Dr. Sears. I mean, as I share a little bit about just how much I really love and adore you, could you share a little bit about the backstory behind your Juice Plus journey and why you're even more passionate today than you were in the beginning? Because I know you are.
Yes, and Loren, I joined this health club. I call it a health club. The best health club I've ever joined. 22 years ago. Like many men, I joined because of the lady in my life. So I came home from the hospital after major surgery for a colon cancer, very sick. My wife, my nurse, now of 54 years, my wife sits me down, shows me 4 capsules, and says the 3 magic words, just take it. And you met when a woman looks at you with that disarming look, you just want to say, yes, dear. So I said, yes, but I'm a stubborn doctor. Okay, I'm not going to put anything in my mouth, prescribe anything for my patients or my family unless I check out the science. I must show me the science, doctor. So I checked out the science and I said, wow, there's good science behind this. Secondly, it makes sense. I don't eat enough fruits and veggies. That's what my wife said. Honey, you don't eat enough fruits and veggies. That's why you got sick. You need to take a supplement. I said, good science, makes sense. I'll take it. And then the next step was I went to visit the company. I followed I went to see how all the produce is harvested and made and put from farm to capsule. I thought, wow, fantastic. Count me in, and I became a medical advisor for the Juice Plus company 22 years ago. And Lauren, it is the #1 company, in my opinion, the #1 company of integrity and science-based products that we all need. And it's been an honor to be there.
Trying to mute everybody as we do this, Doctor. So hang on one second. As I'm muting people, I'm just going to kind of mute all for 1 second, and then I'm going to come back to you. So give me just 1 second so that I can come back to you and unmute you. All right.
Okay.
You didn't have to worry about anything. Well, Dr. Sears, you know, I mean, you were approached by so many things. I'm sure people come to you all the time and say, oh, try this, and you should recommend this to people. And you were talking about, you know, why Juice Plus and why Juice Plus needs to be in everybody's home, and what you've seen over 50 years and the challenges that you're seeing now. I think you were saying that this is the first time ever that brain health has outpassed heart health challenges.
Yes, yes.
To talk about
brain health. Oh, brain health. I'm glad you mentioned that, Lauren, because for the first time in history, in American history, brain illnesses are now more severe and prevalent than heart illnesses. The brain is now sicker than the heart. So why? I'm going to take you a little trip through the brain now to show you why Juice Plus is a perfect fit for food for the brain. First of all, the brain is full of fat, mostly fat. 60% of the brain is fat. Wow, we're fatheads. That's how we remember it. We're all fatheads. Now, what is it about fat that gets illness? What is it about fat that decays and withers and wears out? Ever left a piece of fresh fish out overnight and you smell it in the morning? It stinks. The medical term, it oxidizes. It turns rancid. Fat turns rancid easily because it oxidizes. So what do we need to eat more of to keep fat from oxidizing? Antioxidants. And what are the best sources of antioxidants? Dr. Mom said it years ago, fruits, veggies, and berries. So if the brain is full of fat, and the smartest fat in the brain are omega fats, we need an omega fat supplement. If the brain oxidizes, and the best sources of oxidation and oxidants, antioxidants, are fruits, veggies, and berries, therefore we need the quad, the fruits, the berries, the veggies, and the omegas. See, that makes sense. So anytime I'm talking about any supplement, I lead my patients through this path of how to choose a supplement. First of all, do I need it? Do I need it? Well, for brain health, for heart health, for total body health, we need 10 fistfuls of fruits and veggies every day. 10 fistfuls. So if it's a big fist or baby fist, 10 fistfuls, whatever age you are, of fruits, berries, veggies every day. We don't eat that much. Secondly, we need to eat 2 fistfuls of wild salmon every week. Well, patients will say, well, I'm a vegan, or I don't like fish. All right, so you need it, but you don't eat it, therefore you take it. See, that's the way the brain works. The brain loves logic. Oh, I don't eat it, but I need it, therefore I must take it. Okay, so far, follow that? So then the next question is, show me It makes sense. Well, the brain is full of fat. The best fats are omegas, therefore I need to eat omegas. The brain oxidizes. I need antioxidants, fruits, veggies, and berries. Makes sense. And finally, show me the science. Oh, 40 and counting university studies showing two major things and many more. First of all, you want to know, does it get into the blood? Because we doctors joke. We see our patients come in every day with this bag full of supplements. And we say they go in the top end, they come out the bottom end, and they never get into the blood because no one ever studied it. Well, Juice Plus did. They gave lots of persons the Juice Plus fruits and veggies, and then they drew blood to find out what's in the capsule gets into the blood. And it does, and then they followed these persons to see if what's in the capsule gets into their blood and are they healthier. Absolutely. So the science behind it is the driving force. Good science, good sense, and you need it. Simple as that.
So I love that you talk about that, Dr. Sears. You also talk about your five smarts. Could you share a little bit about that, about the smarts?
Yes. And I say, in my pediatric practice, I try to make things simple and memorable for my patients. So I say to them, you hold the 5 keys to your health in the palm of your hand and your fingers. First of all, eat smart, number 1. Secondly, move smart, number 2. Sleep smart, number 3. Think smart, number 4. And serve smart, number 5. So eat smart, move smart, think smart, sleep smart, and serve smart. Those are the 5 steps to health.
So Dr. Sears, you talk also about, I think, can you talk a little bit about that? I mean, I know that for you, serving smart really meant you were the person that really created the children's health setting and what that means for you, because my favorite thing to talk about all the time is when we ask, what's the number one disease that comes into your pediatric practice? And I remember when you said is parents that are financially stressed. So could you share a little bit about that? Because about service, I think when you're talking about service, that, making sure we share with people, can you go into that a little bit more?
Yes. And when I first got into Juice Plus, I was just enamored with the science, and it made sense. And I prescribed it for my patients. But I never really got into the business until one day a mom comes in with her baby. And usually a mom, a new baby, they're very happy, but she had tears. And I said, why do you have tears running down? She says, I have to go back to work. And I said, do you have to or do you want to? She says, no, I have to. I don't want to. We need the second income. And some little light went on. Aha, what is a doctor? A doctor's a teacher. A doctor's a helper. She's in financial stress. If I can help her relieve financial stress, then I'm being a doctor to her. So I said, let's call her Susie. Susie, have you thought of starting a home business? And she says, no, I'm not good at selling. I said, well, are you good at sharing? Oh yeah, I've got a good social network, lots of friends, love to share. I said, okay, I'll give a few talks for you. And you share Juice Plus with your friends, and it just took off. And I still remember the day she comes in, gives me a hug and said, thank you, Dr. Bill, for giving me the opportunity to stay home with my baby. That's what I call, Loren, the helper's high. That priceless feeling you get by helping someone do good. You feel good when you do good and helping someone else feel good. So that's what got me into the business side of Juice Plus, because especially with young people at all ages really now, especially now with all the stuff going on, I call it stuff, all right? A lot of stuff going on. Financial stress is a biggie. Financial stress is a biggie. And now when I give talks at we have 8 children, and they're so used to dad giving them a sermon on what I call Plan B for the young adults. I said, whatever, do your dream college, do your dream career, have your dream job, but have a plan B that you can rely on, that you can be your own boss. Number 1, a mobile workplace. Number 2, you're doing good for someone. Number 3, and you learn health yourself. Number 4, health is wealth. So I had this little checklist of the dream job, the plan B, and that is the Juice Plus. And so that's how I can try to convince the young people to get involved in their plan B. If sometimes it becomes a plan A. I've seen that happens many times. And so many times I've seen, oh, I'm so glad I have my Juice Plus business, my franchise, my company I own, because I got laid off or a company moved or something like that, and I have my plan B to rely on.
Yep.
And then the social network. When I saw the social network within this great big health club, Juice Plus, I thought, count me in, and the rest is beautiful history.
I love it. And like you said, like, I think as a parent, I mean, give me an amen. First of all, give Dr. Sears a couple amen if you in there, like you like having that helper's high, right? How many of you have gotten, messages from people say, thank you so much, that my kids are missing less school, that give us a big amen in the group if that feels good. We love that helper's high. Well, Dr. Sears, like you said, you've been a pediatrician for 50 years. Let's talk a little bit about what you've seen with the Children's Health Study by helping parents, really bridge the gap. I was talking about when, Asher's been on Juice Plus, I did the whole sprinkle thing that you talked about. She was 4 months old. And I remember being at an event, and there was a veggie tray, and there was like peppers and carrots and broccoli. And she was 2.5. And she grabbed this broccoli and just shoved it in her mouth, and this raw broccoli. And these people around were like, did she really just grab that raw broccoli over the carrots? Can you talk a little bit about the Children's Health Study, what you've seen and why this is so foundational? We talked about the core 4 in the beginning, but just talking about what you've seen as that foundation, and especially with regards to brain health, the immune system.
Sure. And then I'll work you through what in my office, what I did in my office, Loren, is I use my office, my medical office, as sort of a laboratory. What works and what doesn't. And years ago, I would say to parents, parenting in a nutshell is giving your children the tools to succeed in life. Giving your children the tools to succeed in life is parenting. And what better tool could you give them than the gift of health? And that starts when their brain is most vulnerable. When that little brain garden, I call it the greatest garden ever grown, when that little garden is ready to be fertilized and grow beautiful fruit is when you want to get it in. So around 6 months, imagine you're bringing your baby into my office at 6 months for the checkup, and we have the Start Solid Foods talk, and I call it Shaping Young Tastes, the 3 magic words of infant health. Shape young taste. You want to shape the child's taste in that first 2 years when that crave center, that taste center in the brain is growing so fast for the rest of their life. So what you feed them in the first 2 years, you want them to crave 80 years later. So I would start with, you mentioned the sprinkles. I would say, first of all, we'd start with avocados. We got rid of rice cereal years ago because avocados are great fat for the fathead. But then the biggest concern for parents have, how do I get my kids to love veggies like broccoli? So I would take I'd start with the veggie capsule, and I'd pour a little green powder on mom's finger. It smells like veggies. It looks like veggies. tastes like veggies because it is ground up veggies. And then mom would place the veggies, little fingerful, on baby's tongue. Once a day, twice a day, every day. Start with a little fingertip full, then a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And you do that every day. And by 2 years of age, that baby's crave center is programmed for life. And moms would come in and say, you know, this is the first of my 4 children who not only likes veggies, but crave veggies. So that was my experiment in my office. But then we doctors want to see the why behind the what. I noticed that if you start early, they crave it. But why? And here's what happens. The taste buds, the tongue, full of taste buds. When you put veggies on the tongue registers like, and it sends a biochemical text message to the crave center in the brain. And the brain says antioxidants, so I don't oxidize, like veggies, like, gets better. Then the brain sends biochemical text messages down a big nerve in the center of the body called the vagus nerve, biggest nerve of the body, a nerve highway that branches out throughout the gut. And so the head brain says, hey, gut, down is coming your favorite food, veggies. Because the gut bugs, your microbiome, the bacteria that line your intestines, and in return for free food and a warm place to live, they're like a pharmacy down there, and their favorite food is veggies. So you have that going on, like, head brain likes, gut brain likes, and that goes on in that child 2 or 3 times a day. So by 2 years of age, you have imprinted in that child's vulnerable and very, very loving mind. That mind is like a garden, like a sponge, that veggies are good for you and they'll crave them the rest of their life.
Amazing. Everybody, I love seeing the comments. It was like, oh my gosh, I wish my kids would have had this back then, you know? And so I think that just to remind parents, at least do it now, right? Like it's never too late to get.
Never too late.
And maybe talk about, you know, why those microbiomes, especially right now, as we know that Juice Plus has those immune studies, and why making sure that good bacteria in our gut. Could you share a little bit about gut health with everybody?
Yes, the term microbiome now is the biggest word in medicine, Lauren. Microbiome simply means a community of gut bugs. The normal bacteria and other bugs that live in the lining of your gut. They just, trillions of them line the gut. And as I said, in return for free food and a warm place to live, they make medicines for you. They're like a pharmacy inside. So I have little pictures in my office. I show the kids that you have little gut bugs inside making medicines for you. And they make, so that's your pharmacy. And the better you feed your gut bugs, your microbiome, the better for you and your immune system. See, just about every illness in today's world is due to one thing: immune system dysfunction. A weakened immune system. We are a nation, a country, a world of weakened immune systems. So any way we can strengthen our immune system. And I'm going to make immune system very simple for you, fun and simple in a half a minute, is you have an army inside. This is how I explain to kids. You have a big army inside, an army of soldiers. And the top soldier, the top gun, the naval seals of your immune system, your army, is called NK cells, natural killer cells. And they look like little Pac-Men. And so trillions of them go out and search and destroy. And when they see a germ or a cancer cell, they glom onto it and they shoot a biochemical bullet into the cell, the cancer cell and the germ, and blow it up. And this is going on in all of our bodies right now. You have the cells that don't belong there, the germs that don't belong there are being blown up by those NK cells. Now, the better you feed, the NK cells need 2 things to work for them well. they need the right foods, the fruits, the veggies, the omegas. And if a NK cell could talk, they would say, don't stress me out, because if you're stressed up here in the head brain, we're stressed down here in the gut brain. So let's work together to have a good army inside. So that's what's going on inside our bodies right now.
So that's really interesting to share, because in these times right now, there's a lot of stress, right? And so now more than ever is important to make sure that we're really taking care of that. Could you talk a little bit about, just as the world is shifting, what, with regards to taking care of it even more, and why it's an absolutely foundational thing for people?
It is. And stress is a biggie right now, Lauren. In fact, it's so big, we're now teaching in our medical practice meditation techniques and stress management techniques to 7-year-olds, or even earlier sometimes. So we teach, and I learned this from patients in my practice, that you lay down with your child at night. And no matter how life sucks, and it does sometimes, we all have a few things to be thankful for. So you pick out 3 or 4 things, the attitude of gratitude. What are you thankful for? What do you like about yourself? And you're lying down with that little child, you're saying, tell me, honey, what you like about yourself. Say, oh, I am smart. I am a good soccer player. I am pretty. I have pretty hair. I am. Attitude of gratitude. And they drift off to sleep that way. When they get up in the morning, they go in the bathroom and they have a little chart on the mirror. 5 things I like about me, the attitude of gratitude. It's the first thing they see in the morning. Now, going up in little age, the little older people then, the young adults, who are so used to, they get out of bed and the first thing you do, they check their cell phone, they check their email. Worst thing you can do in the morning. You get up in the morning and you say hi to the sky. You look out, hi to the sky. Especially the young people, I have them do that a lot because they're getting text neck. They're bent over all the time, look like old folks. So I said, you just spend a lot of time saying hi to the sky, hi to the sky, and then start the morning with a meditation. And I say, pick out 5 things you're happy for. And what I do every morning, and I'll demonstrate this sometimes in the office, I'll say, here's how, they'll say, well, Dr. Bill, how do you start the morning? I say, here's how I start my morning. I go outside. As Mom said, go outside and play. I go outside, look at the sky. Thank you, God, for my life, 80 years. Thank you for my wife, 54 years. Thank you for my health, cancer survivor. Thank you for my wealth, 8 kids. Thank you for my MD. Please make it my ministry. I take a deep breath. I feel so good. So whatever meditation gets you going, everybody's but develop a mantra, a type of meditation that you will stick to. The best meditation for you is the one you will consistently do. So that's a good way to start the day and end the day.
I love it. I'm like so excited about this. And what I love the most, Dr. Sears, is that you really do walk your talk. I mean, right before, we got on, I said, hey, let's get on a couple, minutes early. And you had just gotten back from your workout, right? You said that. Do what you're going to do. There is no right meditation. Like, do the workout that you're actually going to do, right? Like, I know for me, it's like making sure that I go on my walk every day now. For you, yes. Swimming, making sure to get on the elliptical, and encouraging our kids to do the same as well. And I'm beyond grateful. I know everybody on the team is as well. What would be your last words? I know that you're really, first of all, the other thing I want to say is I love how you share in metaphors. Your metaphors are the best. And they're so we talk about in this, as part of our mission, the outcome is to make sure it's duplicatable, right? And I love everything from grazing trays. If you haven't listened to the 9 Simple Steps, if you're new, go back and watch the 9 Simple Steps, because I go in and teach it after school when we can. I don't know if I'll be able to do it now, but go in and teach. I go in and make grazing trays for the kids and let them make grazing trays. But the other thing, you know, talking about your eat smart, sleep smart, all of those things, that's duplicatable, you guys. We can do that. We can share that with anybody, no matter what their age. But the other thing that I love that you share with all of us is that with regards to sharing about the Children's Health Study, why this is truly foundational, and why
Yes.
more than ever we got to get out there and share it with more people. I mean, I know for me, we've set some goals here. I don't know if a couple of people are on the call, but we, you know, I know that Lori.
Yeah. No, that children's health study is a magnificent study. Tens of thousands of children. I call it the kids eat free. At least, you know, when the parents and grandparents and all, then when they take it, the kids can eat free. But what they did, they studied, they gave all these kids Juice Plus, and then they studied how these kids turned out. Oh, and it's not surprising. First of all, they developed a love for fruits and veggies. They tended to eat more fruits and veggies because you taught their crave center to want them. And they miss less school. The parents miss less work. So the getting back to the foundation of the Juice Plus company is they study this and they find out what works. And that's what that children's health study was so great. And you mentioned another magic word, Lauren, movement. And as I said, go outside and play. Movement. Movement outdoors is called exercise squared. This is what neurologists call it. Now, why? What is it about movement? And that's what that number thing is. Move smart. Number 3, move smart. Now, make your own medicines. Make your own medicines is what we're here for tonight. If somebody said, well, what'd you learn tonight? I learned how to make my own medicines. I learned how my body is a giant walking pharmacy. So follow me closely. Where is that pharmacy? Every one of you have a giant pharmacy inside your body that is churning out right now 23 medicines that lower the highs, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high blood cholesterol, medicines that raise the lows, antidepressants, medicines that mellow your moods, anti-anxieties, medicines that heal your hurts, anti-inflammatories, medicines that keep your blood from coagulating too quickly, anticoagulants, all the antis. But the medicines you make inside are better than the medicines you take because they're custom made just for you, come out the right time and the right dose. And where is that pharmacy? The lining of your blood vessels, the silver lining, I call it, called the endothelium. So in our books, in our Healthy Brain book, we have pictures in Primetime Health, in the Dr. Sears T5 wellness plans, all of our books, the recent books, we have a picture, a full page picture of the pharmacy lining your blood vessels. Now, and this won the Nobel Prize, what you're going to hear now. When you move, swim, run, dance, the blood flows faster over the tops of the medicine bottles, and it creates a special energy field that opens the medicine bottles and floods your system with medicines. So tomorrow, when you go out with your friends, you're walking real fast, say, I'm making my own medicines. I'm opening my pharmacy. Be prepared to explain what this is, but that's exactly what you're doing. Just by movement opens your pharmacy. Now, movement outdoors. Fabulous book. A friend of ours, Dr. Eva Solhub, a Japanese neurologist at Harvard, wrote a fabulous book, Your Brain on Nature, where she calls exercise outdoors is exercise squared. And that simply means that the same exercise outdoors in fresh air, looking at trees, looking at the beautiful colors of nature, your brain is better. when you exercise outdoors. So that's why in my home gym, I put my elliptical right facing the window. So go outside and play.
I love it. I love it so much. Well, Dr. Sears, I want to take a couple questions. I also want to give away a couple of your books to some
Yes.
people that are on the line. And the first person I want to give a book away to is I posted on my page. I'm like, who wants the Dr. Sears link? So Allison, you jumped on, you didn't waste any time. So PM me your address and I will get you I'm going to just say it because I know he'll do it for me, I hope, as a signed copy of the Healthy Brain book, right, Dr. Sears? And then I want to make sure we're going to give a couple more books away. But let's take some questions here. If you don't mind taking another 5 minutes, give Dr. Sears some love, give him some hearts in this chat, you guys. I mean, hopefully you'll come on again for us. I just think that you just are pure gold, as somebody just wrote. But does anybody have any questions? Please just unmute your line if you have a question. Anybody have any questions for Dr. Sears? You've got the America's pediatrician on the line with us. So anybody have any questions? Anybody have a question? If not, Dr. Sears, what would you say to someone who is like, oh, I know I should be sharing this with people. Could you share with them why? Maybe not statistics, or if you want to share statistics, I don't mean to, we got to make sure to wake people up right now. Go out there with more parents and people just in general.
You know, the first thing you do is you find out what is it they need. See, anytime you're sharing, you want to get into a person's mind and say, what do you need? What's going on in your life? Is it something financial? Is it medical? Is it social? Well, the Juice Plus Club is a great health club. You know, we all help one another. If there's a medical question out there, we'll find somebody in the whole big club, healthcare professional that can help you. Is it social? Wow, what a social network. Is it financial? So we help you grow financially, medically, and socially. So, but that's my first tip, is find out what the person needs, and Juice Plus will help meet that need.
Awesome. So there's 3 questions actually that people have come through. The first is Juice Plus safe for diabetics? We know the answer. Let's hear it from a doc.
Yes. It's not only safe, it's a must. Okay. Especially in both diabetes 1 and diabetes 2. For the big reason is, say diabetes, it's a problem with the immune system. And Juice Plus, fruits, veggies, and berries make the immune system fight smarter for you. So absolutely, it is good. The quad. See, the omegas, wow. The omegas are anti-inflammatory, great antioxidants. So absolutely, I would have a person with either type 1 or type 2 diabetes take the quad.
Awesome. Another question one of the responses I get a lot is if Juice Plus was so great, why don't more doctors know about it and tell people to take it?
That's why we're on this call tonight. Yeah. More and more doctors, actually, each year, more and more doctors are not only prescribing it to their patients, they're taking it themselves, because they feel the effects themselves and they see the science themselves and they see the effects in their practice. And see, doctor means teacher. And we call it the pills and skills model. So today's good doctor, here's not only what you take, the pills, but here's what you do. Join the Juice Plus Health Club. Okay. So here's what you take, here's what you do.
Some people are saying that some practitioners say that it's against their license to do another business.
It isn't. No. Anything that improves the health of your patients and has science behind it. And very simple is, Say a person comes in with gut issues or immune system issues, or they just don't eat enough fruits, veggies, and omegas. So you say, okay, these are the medicines you need to take, but you need to eat 10 fistfuls of fruits and veggies every day and 2 fistfuls of wild salmon every week. Can you do that? Please, can you tell me the truth? No. Okay, then I'm going to have you see our wellness coordinator, and she's going to show you how to take science-based supplements that fill in the gaps for those 10 fistfuls of fruits and veggies you need but don't eat, and the 2 fistfuls of wild salmon that you need and don't eat.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
the patients say, get it. Oh, that gets it. So as long as you see, the brain works on common sense. Oh, thank you, doctor. That makes sense. I don't eat it. I need it. Therefore, I need to take it.
Love that. That's a great way. That's a great transition. Okay, 2 more questions and then we're getting out of here. For autism, can I give the omegas to a 4-year-old?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And a 4-year-old, really a 4-year-old can, I'd give them start out with 1 capsule a day and go up to 2 capsules a day. We're currently working out the dosage right now. As a general guide, it's 100 milligrams per year. So a 4-year-old could take 400 milligrams. So, but right now, while we're working out the dosage when they're young, I would start out with 1 capsule a day if they don't eat any seafood at all, and then gradually go up to 2 capsules a day.
Awesome. Someone's asking the numbers. I think if you get for 10 servings, is that for children or for adults?
For what was that again?
Asking about the number of servings. I think it says, are those numbers for children or adults? I think you said the servings, 10 servings. Is that for children?
Oh, yes, it's for every age. So they just have 10 fistfuls of fruits and veggies every day. So a child will have a small fist, a big guy have a big fist. So all ages, applies to all ages. And especially, see, the very young and the older folks like myself are the ones who in some ways you could say need it the most, because you're growing when you're young and you're repairing and maintaining when you're older. And that's what the quad, the fruits, veggies, and berries and omegas do.
Love that. What a great distinction. When you're young, you're building. When you get older, you're repairing. Let's all do some repair work here. Final question here. Dr. Sears, can you please touch upon why our omegas are so much better than fish oil-based omegas?
Well, the omega blend is a vegan source. It comes from sea plant. See, the best omegas come from the sea. They can be sea from fish or they can be sea from plants. So seafood can be plant food. So the good thing about the omega blend, it comes from sea plants. Algae, they're called. It's what the fish eat. The fish eat the algae. See, so you're eating what the fish eat. Juice Plus calls it, they bypass the middle fish. Okay, I love that. But it's basically a vegan source. So if you have a person who really should eat seafood, but they want to remain vegan, they can take a vegan source because it comes from algae, a seafood, and that's what the omega blend is from.
Awesome. So our final question says, can you tell us where that stat comes from? I'm assuming, Loren, you're talking about the 10 servings of fruits and vegetables.
From what comes from, Loren?
Where the stat comes from, about 10 fruits and vegetables, like 10. Like, where's that statistic? Like, is it from the?
Well, I worked this out years ago, mathematically and everything. And if you go to the Department of Agriculture and all those things, they're going to say maybe 5 or 6. See, that the old advice of 5 or 6 vegetables, That is for maintenance. That is that is not optimal. That is just to kind of keep you alive. But I want to be more than just alive. I want to be vibrant and healthy. So we're talking about optimal, meaning healthy. So we know a lot more nowadays than we used to. That's why um, I start my day with, in fact, I have one here. I start my day with a big shake, and I put about 7 or 8 fistfuls in there. And I end the day, and in about a half hour, we'll end the day with a big salad, another 3 or 4 fistfuls in there. So you can get, it's tough. Even though I do most days, I can't every day do 10 fistfuls. And that's why I supplement it with the Juice Plus.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Beyond honored. Thank you for all you do to help all the families around the world, your commitment to our children. Thanks for being my hero, my inspiration. When I thought many times, I remember, which is your daughter? I remember watching you. I was in the family room with Asher because she was running around too much. And I remember going, oh my God, Dr. Sears is speaking. Don't you just love Dr. Sears? I was sitting beside this girl and go, thank God for Dr. Sears, because I needed that book, the Fussy Baby book, to get me through Quinn. And she looked over at me and I go, do you like Dr. Sears? She goes, yeah, I like Dr. Sears a lot. And she goes, I am the Fussy Baby. So
Yeah, the fussy baby grows up. It's been a real honor to be with your group. And I'll leave this tonight as a dose of the helper's high, Loren, because maybe 2 or 3 or more of your whole group learn something tonight that will change their lives, and they can share it with other people that will help them live happier and longer. So we're all leaving here with a big dose of the helper's high.
thank you so much. Please give Dr. Sears tons of love. Give him lots of hearts in the chat so we can see how much you appreciate him and his wisdom. And thank you again. We wish you and Martha a wonderful, 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 wonderful life and many, 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 many more years. So thanks, everybody. Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.